Hey, this is a podcast. No, wait, it's a comedy podcast. Well, we tried to make it a comedy podcast, and it's not meant to offend anyone. So don't get offended, okay? And wait, there's something else. Oh, yeah, yeah. Listener discretion is advised.
Audiomatic presents Our Last Week.
Hi, Kunal.
Payal.
Sorry, I threw you off. I know you were not ready.
I was not
even though
ready.
we're sitting across from each other.
Yeah, I was
You were in a moment of contemplation. Like
I
you
was
were
going
like,
to scribble something,
yeah.
and then you just like, you
and,
shouted at me.
Also, the other thing is, I like how after all these years, there are only two of us in this room.
Yeah.
But you still have a lot of fear
I
while
have.
doing this podcast.
Yeah, I'm always on edge.
In this room, you always sort of,
Yeah.
the moment I say hi, Kodal, it's more, it starts there.
Yeah,
So people would think that this is a joyous thing for us.
But
that
it's not.
But it's mostly fear and how would you describe it? Dread
Dread.
and just nervousness on the edge. Yeah.
you don't know which way it's going to go. You know, like what you're going to get, like what is
Yeah.
going to come out of this.
Yeah. But that's how I felt about my career. It's
Life.
Yeah. It's like I'm sort of, people say oh, it must be a good artistic journey, but you're sort of perpetually on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah,
And you could fall off or you could sort of, go into the building.
yeah.
But most likely you would fall off. And that's how you are sort of, like one of the things, like if people say, what's it like doing 5 years of Our Last Week? You wouldn't say it's been not good for my nerves.
No.
Fragile is not a word you use often.
Yeah, but it would.
But
come
in
out.
this case, yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just that you never know
Yeah.
what's going to come out.
And
of
every
these.
time, we start, there is like what listeners can't see is it's like you're in a car that's driving really fast and you are worried it'll crash. That's what I've noticed in the last 7 years of doing this week in and week out.
Yeah.
It's like you've strapped in
Yeah.
and anything can happen. And it's never a good thing.
No.
Yeah. That's why I think this is the first time that the listener got a sense of that dread. Welcome to Our Last Week.
Welcome, folks.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, hello.
One of our listeners, Akshay Patwardhan, sent us a message on Patreon. Guys, can you reveal how many active subscribers are there for Our Last Week? My wife thinks I'm the only one who laughs hysterically every week listening to you guys. I want to show her that I'm not the only one. Akshay,
Sorry to break it to you, man.
you are the only one.
I mean,
It's just you, Akshay.
it is actually just
This podcast is Kunal, me, and you.
because we keep saying our listeners.
But we mean you.
It's just you. As in
Yeah.
And I don't think. I mean, there's no.
No
and
one
the thing
else.
is that you listen to it so much.
Yeah.
That it's taken us pretty much to the top of some of the charts.
Just the three of us. This is
Yeah.
what.
It's you, me, and Pal. have
And,
done
and,
this.
and the thing is, you should be proud of this achievement because all the other, podcasts have thousands of subscribers.
Yeah.
They need many other people to take them where they are. We just need you.
Yeah.
We need you to come along with us on this journey. And that's why today we're asking you, Akshay, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you fine?
And thanks for keeping us going.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. We come here every day. This whole infrastructure, bunch of producers. In fact, just for you, we have 2,000 other fake listeners that bots. They tune in every week, but they don't matter because we just have them as extras.
But I think his question is extremely valid.
Yeah.
I have always been convinced that
Yeah.
it's been, just 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it is him.
But it is pretty much
Him.
Yeah.
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 So now we don't have to keep saying listeners.
No, we just say Akshay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Akshay.
And in the future, address all the conundrums to Akshay, at least in this episode. we'll be addressing all the conundrums to Akshay directly.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope you've had breakfast, Akshay, because I had an omelette. You had breakfast?
I'm looking forward to some idli.
Yeah. What do you think Akshay does?
I don't know. I mean, I
What do you do for a living, Akshay? We want to know. Because now I think that the future of podcasting and the future of all entertainment is micro focus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it said be niche but be specific in your genre.
Right.
That's what everyone says. I
Yeah,
don't know who
yeah,
says this. I may be making this up. So now we are so niche focused that we're focusing on one individual,
Right.
right? So, I mean, I don't know
so
what
you're
you'll tell your
asking
wife.
What he does, so that if you're looking at growth, you're looking at because
I
it's
want to
so
grow
micro,
with him.
It's
Yeah.
so micro
Yeah.
focused that his career
Yeah.
is what's going to define our success.
Yeah, and
So it better be something that's highly profitable.
Yeah.
So that we can then profit from his subscription.
Yeah.
Which we can increase.
yeah,
Over the years.
so our Patreon subscription will only grow with him.
With him. And all
Because we are
depending on-
all running our families on Akshay's subscription. So basically, Akshay, I don't know if you know this, but years ago I'd done a stand-up show for HDFC Bank.
Yeah.
This is for you, Akshay. And I don't know if you have an account with HDFC Bank, but you should. And the CEO of HDFC Bank said, how, what keeps you awake every day? He said, the success of all the other people in this room, because in their prosperity is our prosperity. Because once they do well, the bank does well.
As well, yeah.
So in your prosperity, Akshay,
Lies.
our prosperity. In this example, we are your HDFC Bank.
Yeah.
But stop me anywhere, Kunal, because we've talked
Too
8
much.
minutes about Akshay Patwardhan.
Yeah.
And we must focus on other listeners. The conundrum being, there are no other listeners.
Yeah.
Kunal,
Yes.
we have another message from Akshay Patwardhan, but he's written this time as Abhinav Kapoor.
Oh, okay.
He's just pretending to be another listener.
Right.
But it's still Akshay. It
Right.
always is. Hi, Kunal Nanavab. This is a conundrum for you. And apparently, I have not seen this series, but apparently you act.
I do.
You acted in a series and there was a malfunction, which he's written about. It's more like a warning, actually, I think. I was watching the last episode of a series Kunal recently featured in. At 13 minutes, 27 seconds, I noticed something which looked like a price tag on his clothes. Was that intentional? It did make me rewind the same for 10 seconds, 500 times, just so I could be sure before I could write to you. You have price tags on now?
I always keep the
You
price
keep
tag
price
on.
tags on.
Because
yeah.
what I do is that I return it. But
Yeah.
I should stop doing it at shoots because I mean they're not my clothes.
Yeah, like right now you've got a massive tag on the back. I thought that's just something you want to differentiate from the current generation of actors. They're like, should we hire Kunal Rai Kapoor for this or should we hire Kartik Aaryan? And they're like, which Kunal Rai Kapoor? Oh, the price tag guy.
The price tag fellow.
So that's a thing. So he wants to know, these repetitive rewinds eventually increase the time I spent watching your act. Was that intentional, Kunal? Like,
Totally.
obviously, if you're in a film, someone will keep watching you if for no reason you have a price tag on your clothes.
Yeah.
Even though whatever the plot of the film is.
But was it to just confirm that I had a price tag or was it to check the price? Like that.
That's a good point. So Abhinav / Akshay, what was this for? Did he want to buy those clothes? So you're saying this is like one of those Amazon things where you're watching a film. They're saying the future of Amazon Prime would be like this. And you
Yeah.
like a t-shirt or an outfit.
You click on
And
it.
you click on, you can buy it.
You can buy it straight.
Yeah. So in this case, let's say they find something, they
So
can
it's
buy
like
you.
It's like a moving IKEA catalog.
Yeah. With a story.
With a
Loosely.
little story.
Some
But basically,
rubbish.
you're in an IKEA catalog and there's a story going on in like bedrooms and But
Yeah.
basically, so you can stop and say, I like that chair and buy it.
So let's say you're watching Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins is about to murder someone.
And you said, shit, I want one of these serial killers.
I want either serial killer or I want his knife.
I want his knife. Okay.
Yeah. Or I want the sweater he's wearing.
Right. But
So-
not Anthony Hopkins.
You may not want him. In the future, that's slavery. I don't think you can buy a person, but in the future, you might be able to buy a person also.
Or, I mean, a person like that. So, like I'm saying, if he's playing a certain kind of character.
Yeah.
Or like say you
So he'll come in a full Amazon
this thing,
package,
a serial killer.
whatever you've purchased.
So it's either the character or the actor. So there are many options there.
So Amazon will say, sir, एक serial killer लेके आया है.
Serial killer वो किस
तो
कहाँ छोड़ू
OTP क्या
उसको?
है?
आपका OTP देना जरा.
अरे मैं ऑफिस में हूँ. मैंने सिर्फ स्वेटर मांगा था. He's like, नहीं सर ये तो पूरा आता है.
वो स्वेटर के साथ आता है सर.
आदमी आता है.
नहीं तो आप एक काम करो, स्वेटर उतार के उसको वापस भेज दो.
करे 2 दिन टाइम है.
मगर प्राइस टैग रखना.
Keep the price tag.
So basically to answer
Abhinav
Abhinav
/ Akshay. Yeah.
Is that I was doing the analog version of what's going to happen in the future.
You are actually very
I just
tight.
kept the price
Saying,
tag
this is all
on.
for sale.
It's all
I'm
for
also
sale.
for sale.
I'm also for sale. So I wanted to be old school.
I think we could go one step further also in the future of entertainment where you can personally sell some stuff of your own. Slide it into the dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, Judge Saab, I'm not a murderer, but I have a 2 BHK to sell.
Yeah.
You know, like the director's like, what are you doing? You know, can you get away with it? Right? Can you
Yeah.
slide in some stuff that you want from the public?
Yeah.
We're all consumers and everyone has their own agenda. The scriptwriter has his own agenda.
I think that you have to be much slyer about it. Like, you know, say you live in a not a very popular area of the city, but you want to raise the profile of that area. So in a movie, you should start referring to it like it's the posh area to live in.
Yeah.
So you have a flat over there.
Yeah.
But your ulterior motive in mentioning that place, like, you know, like
We could go to Paris or Noida.
yeah. So it's like, oh, so Noida is like Paris. So I'm saying
And the
that-
director would be like, why did you mention Noida? Nothing, just forget it.
because you know it's like the same.
It's up and
na?
coming.
It's up
Okay, he let you in. And
Yeah.
before you realize, the movie's peppered with Noida references
Correct.
because you want the price to go up. That's
You
very
want-
good.
Yeah. So you want to sell your 2 BHK there.
So just slide quietly into dialogue.
Yeah.
All the benefits that you,
Yeah.
Or say you want to sell an old Skoda. So whatever the dialogue
Well,
is,
this
that
car
we'll
is
have to
solidly
rush
built.
Ma to the hospital.
Should I take out the Skoda because that's very reliable?
It's 10 years old.
But still,
And
it's
you
doing-
throw in your mileage in there
Great
also.
mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do a private ad.
And it's so smooth. Mom will be so comfortable.
And all the
Hospital.
insurance papers are there. And all the other actors are like,
Why are you mentioning all this?
how is this? We don't sell enough through films.
Yeah.
I think we
Because I think that, you know, other brands have started doing it.
Hmm.
Where they do these little contracts where you have to mention some other product in your thing. It's brand placement. Basically,
Okay.
they've been doing it for years, right?
in films.
In films constantly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
FedEx
Yeah,
and Nike
yeah.
and Pepsi and all of them. Everyone does it.
Born Vita Lelo.
Yeah. So they mention these brands. But I'm saying that now actors should also start doing this slyly on their own.
Not big actors. Because big actors are doing it officially.
Officially.
It's written in the story.
Yeah, but I think
you're not
smaller
allowed.
2-3 lines also you have, no?
Not allowed. So here you would be like,
Yeah.
Your thing is you can get these couches or you could go to Pepper Fry.
Yeah.
Where I and you cut a deal with that brand.
Separately.
You tell them, you don't worry, I'll slide it in. You put nothing on paper.
Yeah.
Just, you're not big enough for him to officially
No.
be in the film, right?
But you
And do it
slide
in a
it.
very big film, like Brahm Shastra, where no one's expecting it also. Some massive film where they're like, अपना astral universe में 4 alternative universes है.
Correct.
चाय लेंगे. Lipton.
Lipton hai.
It'll take you to another universe.
Yeah.
And because it's small enough part, the director let you slide
go
it in.
ahead.
Till he sees in edit, there's something happening.
He said Lipton over there.
4 times he said it, sir, throughout the film. Then he started to sell a Skoda. Even on his death. I know you wrote him a small part, but he was trying to sell Lipton, Skoda.
Yeah. Even when he was falling, sir, he didn't say He
No,
said Skoda.
Then
He just
later,
had to die, sir. He just
Yeah.
had to die. He just had to die and say Why did he say Skoda?
Kunal,
Yes.
we have a conundrum from London.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so my friend Eric McElroy, who is a very well-known comedian in London, he's American, has also spent a lot of time in India as an educator, working with different schools in India. And he had a conundrum about Indian hospitality, which I would like to play for you now.
Here's a dilemma that I have regarding the right decorum when entertaining guests. I have traveled in India many years ago, and whenever I went there, I found I was always so warmly welcomed. And if I knew someone that was in a town that I was in, I was told to look them up. And when I did look them up, they were always really, really welcoming. They welcomed me into their home. They took me out to dinner. They took me out to entertain me because I was the guest visiting from somewhere else. So my question is, if someone is visiting me from India and I'm in London, even though I'm originally from America, am I supposed to return that level of friendliness and welcoming? Because we don't really do that here. And I don't want to be rude because I really appreciated how welcome I was when I came to India, but I'm not sure what to do. And I know, Anuvap, you're coming back to London soon. So basically, I'm asking, do I have to bring you to my house? I mean, you're more than welcome, but I'm not sure I'm free that day, whatever day that is. Thanks.
This is a very good conundrum.
It's a good conundrum.
We are extra hospitable as a people, no? We are just come over, just come over.
We take care of everything. Yeah.
But your dog just died, no? Doesn't matter.
just come.
Yeah, the funeral will happen while you're there. What does it matter? We'll finish the funeral, we'll go for dinner. So we are quite hospitable. And his conundrum is a sensible one. It's
Yeah.
sort of like, how do we reciprocate it? Imagine if
Yeah, I think that we tend to take over the person's life when they
When they arrive.
Like right from they set foot, and if we're hosting them, then you like pick them up from the airport, then they zoom, then immediately we go for lunch, then we have to see the Gateway of India. We're going to Elephanta Caves.
yeah.
We're going to eat over here. There's then great seafood here. At
Say, listen, I'm
Kalagoda.
jet lagged, a little bit jet lagged.
Just
I
now,
sleep later.
Sleep later. You'll have time. You'll get over it later. Then you just die.
Then they just die.
Yeah.
You know, like even when some person is visiting from abroad for for company work, you know, like let's say an employee is visiting from Microsoft or whatever. When they land, the boss will tell you, make sure he doesn't leave your eyesight. I want him fully entertained. So even if that guy says after 8 o'clock, like abroad, if you go to another office from one office, they leave you alone after 6.
Yeah, you're done.
They're
You
like,
can
you
do your
know,
own
this
thing.
is Seattle is lovely. You should try this. You should try that. But they won't come with you.
Yeah.
Here, some boss will say, make sure, Eric has a great time. And so that guy will go to bed exhausted. They would have destroyed him.
Yeah.
Imagine, listen, he's like, I got to email my wife and kids. And we're like, but sir, the boss has planned a night out for you.
Yeah.
We are going axe throwing. And after that, you're going to get a Shih Tzu massage. And he's like, I don't want it. So don't you feel that like it's the Indian workplace,
Yeah.
if you're a visiting colleague from a foreign country, it's a full thing.
It's a full thing.
It's
it's a non-stop sort of experience, and whether even if you come as a you come for some festival, you come as an artist, you come as a guest of some. It's your itinerary is kind of set.
Jacked. All these older authors come for Jaipur Literary Festival,
Yeah.
right? Like say a Margaret Atwood or one of these great, lovely, old writers. You see them on the plane back, they're destroyed. They do that final interview. How was Jaipur? It was good. It was good. It was good.
Because someone is like
Just making them do shots. Like some 60-year-old historian lady be like, Auntie, just drink this.
Yeah.
Drink this, Auntie. No,
fine,
I've
I'm
finished. My
fine.
session was 1 hour long. I wanted the afternoon to walk around Jaipur. Arey, we'll walk for you. You
Yeah.
just do these shots. And whatever plans you may have as a foreigner, they'll destroy it.
See, that is rubbish.
You don't do that.
Don't do that. That is all touristy stuff.
but
We
I
take
wanted
that.
to do
no,
it.
No,
No.
you don't want to see that.
But I wanted to, just go into this park and go. That
museum.
park, Arey, I know the owner of that park.
Yeah.
You don't. I know a better park. And then you're basically at their disposal and you get
Yeah.
on the plane and you're ruined.
Done.
You're finished.
I have a friend who was having a friend come down from London actually, and he he fell ill last minute. He had planned this full day of fun, and it was a good friend of his. So they had planned this full day of fun together, and he fell ill, and he was in doubt whether it was COVID, and he said, no, I don't want to meet him, and he'll just unnecessarily, he's just here for a day and a half or whatever. So he called another friend of ours and said, listen, and this guy didn't know the other fellow coming from London too well, and he said, listen, my friend is coming down, and I have fallen ill. Can you take him out? And
He outsourced
his fun, his day of this thing to another guy who barely knew him.
Yeah.
And then this guy had to then take him around. But he took him around everywhere. They went for lunch, they had a massage, they played tennis, they went for long walks, almost romantic.
They didn't know each other, but suddenly...
Not too well. But then by the end of it,
became a thing.
Great friends by the end of it. So what this guy had wisely done is that he had outsourced his hosting to another guy. The trick here is that all in this involved had some Indian origin, right? Like my friend.
The nature of your 24 hours will be taken over.
Taken over. He spent the night in that guy's house also. He didn't know him. That guy's wife and kids, he sent them away.
Yeah.
And
Leave, get out!
Get out. This guy's coming. Who is he?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
You've been married for 20 years. You just go find somewhere else.
You live. Yeah, go. And so he evicted his own family and had this guy stay because he was his friend's friend.
Yeah. So Rajiv's friend Vishal is coming. Who's Vishal? We've got a 2-year-old. You shut up.
Just go, go and stay with your mom. And so that was the situation there.
And now imagine how the original friend feels. He must be getting a little jealous because he outsourced it thinking it's a... it's like, if I can't do a stand-up show, but I give it to a friend and he does a better job than then you start getting jealous.
So my advice would be that what you need is in London or whichever city you stay in, is you need 1 or 2 Indian friends there.
Yeah, Eric needs to outsource it. Because see, what will happen is, his conundrum is, do I have to return the hospital? 100%.
100%. But you personally might not need to.
You can outsource it.
So you make 2-3 Indian friends and keep them on standby.
Listen, I might need you.
I might need you because I have some friends coming from India.
Yeah.
So they'll get excited. From India?
No problem.
Just send them over.
Yeah, I'll pay for the flight. I'll go pick them up.
From Bombay.
I'll fly now.
I'll fly there, pick them up and come back.
There.
And then, my house is free, it's empty. I mean, 12 people are there, but what,
I'll lock them up.
Yeah, they can share one.
What does he like? What food does he like? Chinese?
I'll take him.
I'll get a Chinese chef.
Yeah.
I can't even afford it, but I'll make it happen. Because returning hospitality in India is a sacred thing, right? Like, I remember once I had helped somebody with doing a show in Shillong. And that person said, you come to Shillong. You just come to see, you see what we do to you.
Yeah.
And they did do things to me. Meaning, like, I got back on the flight where I was like, I'm never going back to Shillong. Because from the moment I woke up, like I landed, they were there at the airport. They drove me to, first there was momos, then there was thukpa, then there was some other thing. Then they took me to see some cultural program. Like, I was in a daze. If they'd kidnapped me and punched me in the face 6 times and put me back on a plane, it's the same experience. I mean, I saw everything and I saw nothing.
Yeah.
They're like, and I said, can I take a nap, because I woke up at 6. He said, no, we're driving to Cherrapunji to see the waterfall.
Yeah.
It's best at sunset. How will you sleep? Okay, we're going to Cherrapunji. Are you having fun? And I was like, can I just stop by and just maybe pick up a coffee? No, you can't pick up a coffee. We're carrying this special tea for you. Have this tea. So I had no
control.
I was emasculated. I had no power over anything in my social life. And by the time I hit the bed, which was not even in the hotel of my choice, so it was in a hotel they had picked and paid for, I felt like a prisoner. A prisoner whose entire social life, like imagine if you're a prisoner, but instead of being imprisoned, you're made to socialize.
Yeah.
That's what Indian hospitality is like.
Yeah.
That your choice is taken away from you, but you're said, fun. We'll give you fun. How much fun do you want?
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, I don't want any fun. I don't want to know you also. Kunal.
Yes.
You had a final conundrum about gymnastics.
Well, I was watching a parade.
Yes.
Some time ago. And very often in our Republic Day parades and in our other parades, we have performances by police and other departments and sometimes even the army where they do these sort of balancing acts on these motorcycles and
Formations.
formations, and then they do all sorts of, you know, these, like they make a pyramid,
Yeah.
inverted pyramid
Yes.
on a motorbike.
Yes.
Then they do some sort of splits on a sort of two motorbikes, and then they do like a, you know, they do these multiple formations. Both the police and the army have these
Crazy cool shit like that.
yeah. It's very impressive. My only like what occurred to me is that when is this useful exactly?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when does it come in handy?
Yes.
Like I
Element
know-
of surprise.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does say one. I mean, it speaks for their dexterity and their, you know, their flexibility and their balance and all of that. And okay, but I'm saying if they're spending so much time putting that thing together,
And a lot of it involves doing handstand somersaults and men on top of men in jeeps and motorbikes. A lot of it
Yeah.
is stunts.
it stunts.
Yeah.
It stunts. And the thing is that I don't know that in, like, you know, if there's some sort of skirmish
Yeah.
somewhere, or if there's you know, like a police situation that needs some sort of management.
Thieves robbing a
robbers,
luxury store.
Yeah, like they're in a bank, or you know, whatever. There's some underworld elements having a gang fight or whatever. Would it be coming in handy at that point? Like, do
That's
you
a
show
very,
up in
very good
formation like that.
question. Like, for example, if you want a bank robbery stopped, are
Yeah.
you saying if 6 policemen doing some sort of a sort of Eastern European women's gymnastics formation
Yeah.
showed up in a bike,
On a single motorbike.
I would stop as a bank robber.
I mean,
I'd
I'd be
stop to
shocked.
look.
Yeah. That might buy time
Definitely would
for another unit of gymnasts to come.
to come on the other side. And if I saw that, and they, on top of the last guy, there's a ball on his head,
Yeah.
it would get in the way of the robbery. Almost better than showing up, you know, in bulletproof vests and guns.
Yeah.
Better. Because I'd be like, I want to see this.
Yeah.
You know,
But one sec. Wait. Have you seen this?
Yeah,
Just look at this.
police have changed. I definitely want, what is this? You know, this is very good.
Yeah. The thing is that I feel that now, since everything is almost become like a computer game,
Yeah.
drone warfare.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about
No
like,
boots
how
on the
do you-
ground.
It's like a video game sort of warfare. I mean, of course, there's stuff on ground as well. Like we see that in Ukraine and all that. But I'm saying a lot of it is drones. A lot
Yeah.
of it is like from the sky, and it's all about remote control.
Missiles from one country,
and,
yeah.
and, you know, you're seeing stuff on a little camera, or it's satellite operated, or it's like I'm going to take out a power grid, but digitally.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to attack it like physically.
From Moscow, I'll just take
I'm
it
just-
out
I'm
in
gonna
your...
take- yeah, it's also. But this in a parade, I don't know how you.
Also, even a satellite camera, I saw, say, 2 riders on a motorbike doing headstands, you know, and say balancing a dog, you know, while doing that.
Yeah.
I'd zoom in and then I would stop that missile.
I'd say one sec. Something weird is going on.
What is this?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a deterrent.
Fine.
And what I'm saying is that sometimes in life, the what is this question,
Yeah.
we've stopped asking.
Yeah.
You know, like my favorite Instagram reels are where the first 2 seconds I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. It's always that's what's keeping you hooked and interested.
In life also.
Yeah.
You know, everything in life has to be like, what is this? In a film, I think the trouble is most films start in a predictable manner.
Yeah. And you're not asking what is this. That's the whole problem.
You're asking, oh, where is this going, etc.
You're asking when is this getting over?
Correct. There's most films nowadays. Exactly. Yeah, when can I go home? But
Yeah.
if, say, I saw a film where you were sitting and eating a price tag.
Yeah.
In the first scene of the film, it's just you wearing a shirt with a price tag.
Yeah.
And you were eating it.
Yeah.
Right? And on the side, it said, you know, do you want to shop at Marks and Spencer?
Yeah.
I'd be interested. Because this is not something I've seen before. And we've seen everything in the modern world.
Yeah.
So if you can show me something I haven't seen, you know, like that, the what is this is probably what drives this
Yeah.
formation type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I guess it's that.
Because you go to a football game, you expect football. Now, if both the teams decide instead of playing football, they would do an 8-man gymnastics handstand on motorbikes, and the ball will still be at the center. You'd be
I'd see-
intrigued.
I'd be intrigued. And I'd be entertained.
You would be.
But like, will it win you a World Cup? Is that's
That's
the
the tricky
thing.
one.
Like, can that team go all the way?
Correct.
You know,
It's
that's the
tricky.
thing.
I'm going to leave our listeners,
Our listener.
but by which I mean our listener / my listener / your listener / Akshay.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave Akshay Patwardhan with this fact, which is that you went and watched the World Cup semi-final.
I did. I saw the 2 semi-finals. I got an opportunity
To attend.
To attend.
Yeah.
It was hosted by some part of the Qatar government and airlines and all of that. So I mean, it was privileged.
It's
to be
lovely,
there
and
a
you are
couple of
now an
days.
important Qatari sheikh. This is what we don't
yes,
know.
yeah, I am.
But you had one thing. You were perturbed by the fact that cultures that have played football for a long time have a chant.
Well, a lot of them, like when seeing the Argentina game, there's a very distinct Argentina song and a chant, and
Yeah.
there's a hand action that they have, the fist
Yeah.
pumping on
Yeah.
like one arm, and it's very clear that okay, these guys are used to being in these situations. They have a huge culture over the last 60, 70, maybe more. I mean, more than that, years of coming to finals, big tournaments. So their culture of football is very set. So
Yes.
there's a coordination.
Yes.
You know, between, in the crowd. They're all in unison. Whereas with Morocco, while they were very, very vociferous and they were shouting and whistling every time France had the ball and they were loud and full of passion and all of that, they didn't have that cohesive chant.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have that. They had a few songs and they did sing and all that, but it wasn't that cohesive, that culture of
Haphazard.
haphazard a little bit, because they didn't have that thing of coming to these major occasions
Yeah.
for football, and this is the first time it's happening. So I mean, it will take a few years before they develop all of that. But many places do have these things.
I mean, this is the conundrum. It's like if we ever have a World Cup team, Indians have money now. It's it's no longer 1983 where wealthy people. I mean, it's not a rich country, but there'll be enough people to fill a Qatar stadium,
Right.
just like we do for cricket, and we don't have a football chant.
That's
like
because we don't have. I mean, apart from 2 or 3 centers, Kerala, Goa,
Yeah.
and Bengal,
Bengal, yeah.
I don't think we have a very strong football culture.
yeah.
You know, we don't have, like, nationwide, I don't think it's strong enough. And I mean, many places in the Northeast. And I mean, yeah, it's they're passionate. But
So what we just even in the football games I've been to, like Bengal has quite creative swearing for the other team.
but is it cohesive? It isn't.
It's not cohesive.
Like, everyone has their own opinion on what
It's
should
an
be shouted
opinion,
right
you know?
now. Yeah. And it's generally, I find that in Indian stadiums, whether it's cricket or anything, it's generally abuse for the other side.
Abuse. Like the most common one is gali gali mein shor hai.
So and so
chor hai.
Yeah.
Which works, I think, maybe if the other countries has some history of theft and crime.
Yeah, well,
But if
we
India-
assume that all countries have
We
that.
do.
So whether, I mean, Pakistan, though, of course, and then enough.
But
matches,
what if it's not a country you know much about? Like gali gali, like India's football team is playing gali gali mein shor hai, Luxembourg chor hai. Which it's even the
Gully
Luxembourg
Gully mein shor hai, Ghana
chor hai.
shor hai.
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
and the Ghanaians are like,
Yeah.
are we?
South Korea
Chor hai.
Like, it
some
doesn't-
countries, Norway chor hai.
Yeah.
It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah.
We need a chant.
We need some sort of,
Our last week needs a chant.
yeah. I would do some. I mean, something a little scary.
Yeah.
Something that just like keeps me on my toes.
Yeah. Because already you're frightened of this podcast, like we said in the beginning.
Yes,
And
yes.
also, like we said, Iceland, the football team, they have a Viking war chant.
Wow.
It's something, and they all, they also 100,000. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
And
quite scary.
it is very scary when
Yeah.
50, 70,000 tall Icelandic Vikings are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if our chant needs to be like that,
Yeah.
because then it's just, imagine 80,000 Indians going, whoa, wow. Sound like, I don't know, if we're barking or something.
Yeah.
But we need something better than Gali Gali Mein Shor.
Sure. Yeah.
But knowing Indians, we'll go there, 100,000 of us, we'll just start shouting, Virat Kohli, Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
The wrong game, wrong man.
Yeah. No, it's very difficult to get that chord.
Kohli,
Yeah.
Modi.
It all,
Yeah,
it'll
we'll do
boil
all
down
stuff
to
like that. Yeah.
So we
And
need,
Sunil Khetri is like, why don't you just have anything for us?
yeah.
Send us a chant, listeners.
Yes, a
Send
football
us
chant.
a football chant
Because
or an
then
All Last
that's
Week
what's
chant.
going to solve Indian football.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
We don't have a chant. That's why we're not winning.
That's why we're not going anywhere.
No chant. Chant chahiye. Thank you to all our listeners, Akshay.
Yeah.
And please send in your conundrums, Akshay. And, please subscribe. Patreon.com/All Last Week, Akshay.
That's the one.
And to all our listeners, Akshay, happy holidays, Akshay.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone. Akshay. Akshay. Good night, Akshay.
You were listening to Our Last Week, produced by Rajesh Tahil and Avdut Khanolkar, hosted by Anubhav Pal and Kunal Roy Kapoor, assistant producers Akansha Kadam and Rahul Vaswani.